Nicholas Raskin injury development emerges, Lennon Miller to Rangers revelation emerges, Kevin Muscat drops telling hint over Rangers job with Rafa Benitez rules set as next boss hunt requires key trigger. Mourinho says he has utmost respect for Celtic and Rangers. Ferguson expects 49ers Enterprises to sign off on £6 million Rangers transfer. This is massive. Stay locked in because the future of Rangers is about to take a huge turn. Nicholas Raskin, a player who already holds a special place in your heart, has made a crucial decision to ensure he stays fit and available for Rangers. The Belgian midfielder has taken matters into his own hands, tweaking his diet to shed weight and reduce the risk of injuries. And according to Dr. Rajpal Brar, a specialist in physical therapy and sports science, it's a move that could make a massive difference in his long-term durability. Raskin himself admitted back in December that his injury record at the club was a concern. Since then, he's adjusted the food he's been consuming behind the scenes, and the results speak for themselves. The science backs him up too. Lowering weight reduces the stress on joints and tendons, making it easier to stay fit and perform at the highest level. And with Rangers fighting on multiple fronts, having him available could be the difference between glory and disappointment. His dedication hasn't gone unnoticed either. The club's hierarchy clearly values him, given he's been trusted with the captain's armband in James Tavernier's absence. That's a massive vote of confidence in a player who could very well be one of the main driving forces in Rangers' push for silverware. Now, here's the question. If Raskin is willing to make big sacrifices for his fitness and the club, should some of his teammates be doing the same? Are there others in the squad who should be looking at themselves in the mirror and making similar changes? Lennon Miller is a name on everyone's lips, and with good reason. The Motherwell youngster has shown he's got the talent, the composure, and the ability to control a game well beyond his years. And now, with the summer transfer window on the horizon, the question is whether Rangers will finally make their move. Ross McCormack has suggested that if Rangers truly wanted Miller, they would already have him. After all, when Rangers come calling, you go. But back then, the club prioritized Bailey Rice, believing he was the better prospect at the time. Now, with Miller running the show at Fir Park and attracting interest from clubs across Europe, the decision not to snap him up earlier is being questioned. Motherwell have already turned down offers from the likes of Union Saint-Gilloise and Udinese, and the asking price is reportedly around £4 million. That's a serious investment, but when you're potentially getting a future Scotland international who could be worth 3 or 4 times that in a few years, is it not a gamble worth taking? With Celtic sniffing around, along with clubs from England, Germany, and Italy, Rangers must decide whether they want to let yet another top Scottish talent slip through their fingers. The club's commitment to signing the best homegrown talent was evident with Lyle Cameron's pre-contract signing, but Miller is a different level. So here's the big question. If Rangers let Miller go and he ends up at Celtic or a top club abroad, would it be an unforgivable failure from the Ibrox board? The managerial speculation at Ibrox is heating up, and with big changes on the horizon, the question of who takes charge next is dominating the conversation. With Barry Ferguson holding the reins until the end of the season, all eyes are on the long-term appointment, and it looks like the incoming consortium, led by American businessman Andrew Kavanagh and Leeds United chairman Parag Marathi, are already weighing up their options. Kevin Muscat, a familiar name to Rangers supporters, remains one of the frontrunners. The former Ibrox hardman has enjoyed a successful managerial career, lifting trophies in Japan and China, but his latest comments suggest his immediate focus remains on Shanghai Port. While his side are teetering on the edge of Asian Champions League qualification, Muscat is keen to push forward rather than entertain outside speculation. Is he biding his time, waiting for a call from Ibrox, or is he truly committed to staying in Asia? Then there's Rafa Benitez, a Champions League winner, a tactician with vast experience, and a manager whose pedigree is undeniable. But does he fancy the Ibrox job? His recent comments suggest he's holding out for a Premier League return, making it clear that despite receiving offers, he's waiting for the right opportunity in England. Could Rangers realistically tempt him to Glasgow, or would he see Scottish football as a step below his ambitions? With a consortium-led takeover seemingly imminent, the next permanent Rangers boss could be the first major decision of a new era. It needs to be the right one. So here's the big question. Should Rangers gamble on a former player like Muscat, take a swing at an elite name like Benitez, or look elsewhere entirely for the man to lead the club forward? Jose Mourinho, always one for the grand stage, has spoken ahead of Rangers' Europa League clash with Fenerbahce, and while he's showered praise on both sides of Glasgow, you have to wonder, does he really understand what he's walking into at Ibrox? Mourinho may have the European pedigree, but does he truly know what it means to face Rangers under the lights in a knockout tie with the noise, the passion, and the relentless will to win that fuels this club? It's one thing to respect Rangers, it's another thing entirely to stand in front of the Broomloan stand when Ibrox is at full tilt. And let's be honest, his comments about having so many Scottish friends from both colours will raise a few eyebrows. There's only one colour that matters at Ibrox, and it's not green. You can respect the history, sure, but if you don't understand the battle lines, you've already lost half the fight. So here's the question. Does Mourinho truly grasp what he's about to face at Ibrox, or is he in for a shock when he steps into the most hostile atmosphere of his career? The 49ers takeover is gathering momentum, and with it comes the anticipation of serious investment in Rangers ahead of next season. With the club in desperate need of a squad rebuild to finally put Celtic in their place, the question is, who stays, who goes, and where should the money be spent? One name at the center of it all is Václav Černý. The Czech winger, on loan from Wolfsburg, has had his moments. 15 goals and 5 assists across all competitions is a respectable return. But has he truly done enough to justify the £6 million that would be required to make his move permanent? Derek Ferguson certainly thinks so, believing that once the 49ers have full control, they'll sanction the fee to tie him down at Ibrox. And if you look at his numbers, it's easy to see why. He's been one of the few players offering consistent attacking output in what has been a frustrating season. But there's another side to this. Has he really been the kind of game changer Rangers need? Let's be honest, inconsistency has been a problem. For every standout display, there's been a game where he's barely made an impact, most recently in that dreadful loss to Motherwell. If Rangers are to close the gap and reclaim their rightful place at the top of Scottish football, is Černý the kind of signing that elevates the team, or is £6 million better spent elsewhere? And that's the big debate. If the 49ers are serious about turning Rangers into a dominant force again, should they be aiming higher than Černý? Or is he the type of player who, with the right management, could become a key figure in a title-winning side?